Today, it may be the Christians. Tomorrow, it may be the Jews. 2 weeks from now, it could be the atheists. When you start taking away freedoms, it harms everyone.
It's a beautiful campus, top 20 school. Most students don't leave campus. Most students stay within the grounds of the campus, stay within the Vandy bubble, as we call it.
Peter Volk is a junior chemistry major at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, and president of the Navigators, a Christian student organization.
When I was applying to schools, I was looking for a place that I could find strong Christian community. And when I visited, I found that, and I can't imagine having gone anywhere else.
But Volk worries that a new policy will hurt Christian student organizations.
There was a huge uproar and backlash.
Carol Swain is a professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt, where administrators recently demanded that belief-based student groups accept anyone as a member or even a leader, regardless of whether or not they actually agreed with the group they wanted to join.
There was a huge protest by students and a town hall meeting.
I would want a group to elect their officers based on tenets of beliefs. What else would a faith-based organization be able to elect their officers off of?
University administrators struggle to explain the policy.
You may hear the argument that Vanderbilt is discriminating against religious groups. I want to assure you that, in my opinion, we are not.
The administration calls it an all-comers policy, as in student groups must accept all comers.
This policy is not an attempt to single out particular student groups. Its purpose is to promote equal opportunity for all.
And under this policy, Christian groups could no longer require members or leaders to affirm a belief in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, nor could they ask Christian leaders to lead Bible study or worship or lead a Christian lifestyle. And at that point, it's no longer a Christian group. You know, maybe it's a social group. I'm not sure what it becomes.
And there are a number of student groups, a number of Christian groups on campus that chose to take a principled stance and not comply with that new policy. And as a result, have been forced off campus.
13 groups have been forced off campus. They are non-entities in the eyes of administrators who say the groups may not use the Vanderbilt name, use college email listservs, pass out flyers in the student center, participate in official events, or even reserve a room for monthly meetings.
2, 3, and...
The controversy quickly broke through the Vandy bubble. Country music legend Larry Gatlin lives across the street from Vanderbilt.
The people in power over there are really trying to impose their religion, their worldview.
Tennessee state legislators tried to ban state universities, along with major private universities like Vanderbilt, from passing all-comers policies. But the governor vetoed the bill. The controversy even reached Washington, where 23 congressmen signed a letter urging the university to reverse the policy.
It's not just about Christianity, it's about freedom of religion, expression, speech.
So where did the idea for an all-comers policy come from? The Supreme Court, specifically the 2010 case Christian Legal Society versus Martinez. In a controversial 5-4 decision, the court ruled that a public university could adopt an all-comers policy. As a private institution, the ruling did not directly affect Vanderbilt, but administrators used the Martinez decision to justify bringing the all-comers policy to their campus.
Well, the Supreme Court has held that an all-comers policy is in fact permissible under the First Amendment.
We are going to a situation from bad to worse on college campuses.
These are just some of the universities where administrators have tried to boot Christian groups off campus in recent years. Swain fears the Martinez decision will embolden more universities to strong-arm Christian organizations.
Vanderbilt University is the most extreme policy that I'm aware of, but there are other universities that are moving in the same direction.
And I tell you what, it's not just Christians. I think the Muslims, the Hindu, whatever, the atheists have a right to meet over there anywhere they want to and keep this Pentecostal Christian out.
The administration doesn't see it that way.
And someone might say, well, does that mean a Republican should be able to join the college Democrats? Absolutely.
We wanted to ask the administration about that, but Vanderbilt ignored our interview requests. Too bad, because we had plenty of other questions. For instance, If the president of the Muslim Student Association converted to Christianity, would the organization have to keep that person as president? Would Orbis, Vanderbilt's progressive student journal, be forced to publish columnists who mock its political views? And what about hostile takeovers?
For example, the students in the college Democrats could then vote themselves into all the leadership positions in the college Republicans and dismantle the group, or make statements that contradict the National Republican message, and that's dangerous.
Junior Benjamin Reese is president of Vanderbilt's College Democrats.
I think that there are a lot of places where the hostile takeover scenario is something that's plausible.
Students at other universities have attempted hostile takeovers, though Reese doesn't think that's likely to happen at Vanderbilt. His main objection to all comers is on principle. It's important, he says, to stand up for the rights of those you disagree with, and that includes religious student groups that believe homosexuality is sinful.
Even though I disagree very strongly with the groups having a belief that homosexuality is sinful, I think it's very important that groups have the right to have beliefs.
And as long as what a group is saying is, this is our belief.
Jonathan Rauch is author of the book Kindly Inquisitors, The New Attacks on Free Thought, and a guest scholar at the Brookings Institution.
We're not forcing anyone who's a member of this group to go out and break state law by discriminating in employment against homosexuals. We're just talking about things we believe. Then I think it's very important that you leave an opening on your campus for dissenting belief. And in fact, I'd say to an administrator, that's actually part of your job.
And one thing that's important there is that belief-based requirements aren't discriminatory in the same way as status-based requirements, because anybody can adopt a belief.
You can change what you think, your beliefs, but you can't change who you are, your status. Under traditional rules against discrimination, a student couldn't be denied the right to join the College Democrats because he is Asian. But the College Democrats would certainly be able to exclude non-Democrats from joining. But how does homosexuality fit in?
Within the group of Christian organizations at Vanderbilt, there's a lot of different opinions on that. As a leader in the Navigators, I would support us complying with a policy that was limited to protecting against discrimination based on sexual orientation.
So what's wrong with selecting people on the basis of belief?
I want to be able to have at least part of my life where I choose to be with people who share my beliefs. I want to be able to relax. I want to be able to grow in my faith with people that are on the same page with me.
Rauch argues that freedom of association is especially important for minority groups.
I am a gay American, and for decades in this country, until very recently, the only place gay Americans could really find safety and support was in gay groups and gay bars. We were able to be safe, we were able to develop our voices and agendas, and if the Supreme Court is saying that's going to be illegal discrimination, that's going to be a blow against minority rights in America. We, members of minorities, we're not delicate flowers. We don't need to be protected from people who don't like us, because we can't earn their respect or admiration or change their mind by hiding from them. We have got to be in situations where we can confront and encounter them, sometimes angrily, but more often with persuasion.
And isn't debating and persuading a big part of what college is supposed to be about?
As the president of the College Democrats, I obviously disagree quite a bit with most of what the college Republicans do. But having that debate is extremely important in a college community, and making people leave or change their beliefs to something that you prefer is the opposite of this clash of ideas that the college institution is supposed to represent.
Volk isn't sure how Christian student organizations will continue to thrive if they must choose between compromising their beliefs or leaving campus.
If I would have known the change in the environment when I was applying to Vanderbilt, it would have been different. It would have been a different decision to make.
And I believe that if the policy is not reversed, that we'll see more and more universities adopting similar policies. It's important to let institutions know, even private institutions, that you expect them to honor and respect our Constitution. And that includes freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom of association. These are important values and principles. It's part of what America is about.
The young man waved the battle flag from the walls of the Alamo for Santa Anna and his army to see.